Get in there! Welcome back, everybody, to the Get in There podcast.
Get in there!
It's me, Ruben, with my best friend,
Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Hi.
So I wanted to talk to you today. I just want to get it right off the bat.
Okay.
Our last episode, hottest episode we've ever dropped.
Yes.
It's hot. Flaming hot.
Bro,
Dude.
we're viral.
So yeah.
We're viral.
Top 10 on YouTube. If you look us up, bro, we're like right there. You know what I mean?
Man.
Elon Musk wants to jump on.
Yeah, we have literally tens of views. Not to make it a big deal. I don't want to make it a big deal.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I'm gonna make it a big deal. I got the champagne over here.
Okay.
We're gonna fucking open it up. But it seems like the topic that got the most traction was the comic book stuff.
Okay.
That like Batman's like our idol. We love Batman
so much. We bring him up every video.
Somehow he's haunting me.
Yeah.
He's at every video,
dude.
It's like he's gonna catch us cursing and slam the door open.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like, "What's going on here?"
Yeah. Who sent you? Punches you in the face.
Yeah, dude. There's like this like TikTok that I started seeing, and it's just like this guy, and he's just like doing bad stuff, like, and not even that bad. It's like littering.
Yeah.
And then like a guy dressed up like Batman pops up and like beats the shit out of the camera, and it's so funny,
that's
dude.
Great. Yeah, because that's what he does. He basically beats people to death for petty crimes, within an inch of death, right? Like they're sitting there with their leg up with a cast on.
Yeah. And he's an asshole too, because he beats somebody up, and he's like, "I'm not done with you. I'm gonna break his leg for good measure."
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, man.
Spider-Man should adopt that, you know, because sometimes his guys get away because the web's just not enough. He should just break every single limb they got.
Yeah,
they can't get away.
I mean, the thing is, like, even though Spider-Man is not breaking it gotta be pretty uncomfortable to have your body wrapped tight and you're like hanging
really
from a
tight.
rafter
Yeah, and
somewhere.
upside down.
Yeah,
like you're upside down. Okay, for real.
At a height. What if you're afraid of heights, dude? And he just has you like wrapped up there.
The worst fucking thing, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know how, like, I don't really know how hard Spider-Man hits. Like, everybody says that he hits hard, but like, is Spider-Man like Captain America strong?
Yes.
Or like Hulk strong?
Like Captain America strong, I'd say.
Okay. So he's just like,
don't quote me on that.
He's just like strong.
But yeah, from what I understand, I think Spider-Man has super strength, super super senses.
Right.
Which is basically like agility and being like dexterous.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
So it's like, so obviously he's
that too, my bad. So super senses, and then dude, he's just OP.
Like, he's like very flexible is what you're saying. He's wearing a fucking he's wearing a skin tight suit. Like,
there's a lot of agility. Yeah.
So we've seen him like stop trains before. So like that's just his strength. But does he get the strength from spiders? Like, are spiders strong? Like, that's what I don't get.
So I think you're onto something.
No, yeah, right. So like Ant-Man is strong because he's like, I go from really, like, I'm punching as a little person, but with the mass of like a big person, right?
Because ants can lift exponentially more than their body weight. Right. So he gets that. So Spider-Man, it doesn't really make sense, does it?
No, it doesn't. That's what I'm saying. Like, why did he get the super strength? That doesn't make any sense.
Because he has the power of 8 arms.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh. Damn, that's so good.
I mean, that's gotta be it, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he has super senses too, because he's supposed to have all these eyes.
And they're just like on 2? Wow.
Yeah, I think I just figured that out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, dude. I mean, you probably write Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, and you're fucking
right.
oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
Speaking of fucking spiders, and I don't know if this counts as spiders, but I have, do mosquitoes count spiders? What are mosquitoes?
No.
What are they?
They are annoying.
Yes, that is, they are in there. Dude, so you're going to see me scratching a lot because I just came back from Maricopa and, dude, and they had like a pool out there and all that, and I was taking the family, and mosquitoes love me, man. And I'm bit up everywhere. Yeah. I got one in my face right now. Like, I don't know if you guys can see it. You guys can't see it.
It's weird how like some people don't get bit a lot by mosquitoes. Yeah. And some people do.
I'm one of those people, bro. Yeah. I am one of those people that when I go anywhere where there's a lot of mosquitoes, I get messed up. Yeah. I get messed up real bad. And I hate it because I'm just like, and I can't, and people are just, just don't scratch it. Yeah. Good luck with that.
Just don't scratch it. Yeah, it's just real bad. Just let it be.
Just let it be, man. It's like, be mad about it. I'm like, it itches. It's just it itches, dude.
It makes it
damn you, Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly. Spider-Man, who's also, you know, mosquitoes are spiders.
Who's also a mosquito.
Yeah.
Dude, oh my god.
Yeah.
Every time we talk, we come up with like a new superhero. And today is Mosquito Man. Dude, you know how fucking annoying he'll be? You know how annoying Mosquito Man will be?
And the thing about mosquitoes is, like, I don't like any insects at all because I just don't like anything touching me. Like, anytime like I'm trying to, like, I'm always like super hyper focused on whatever I'm doing, and so like just to have something just like a fly, just periodically, it drives me insane,
dude. And the worst part is when you like feel it, and then you look at it and you're like, dude, there's a fly on me. Like, how long have you been on here? Or like even any bug in that, for that matter, you know, it's just like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, get, you know, and that's what I don't like.
Yeah,
it's just
freaks
like
me out, man.
Yeah, it freaks me out too, dude. Yeah. And there's so many of them.
I guess it doesn't freak, it just annoys me to the point where I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah. But
mosquitoes, it's starting to be that season, so that sucks. Anyway.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. But I got to thinking last time, like, we talk a lot about comic books, but we don't read a lot of comic books. The last comic book I read was Invincible. Have you read that?
I've watched the show.
Okay. I haven't watched the show.
Yeah, okay.
So maybe we can compare. Did you like it?
I love this show.
Okay.
I cannot wait for season 2. And it sucks because I'm one of those fucking... Oh, shit. I'm sorry. I'm one of those losers that's like on Reddit all the time. And
me too.
Yeah. And dude, Reddit just sucks because they love to spoil stuff.
They do.
You know, it's like... People say don't jump on Instagram, don't jump on Facebook. I'm like, good, right? But they're spoiling stuff on Reddit too, man, and it really sucks.
Right in the title.
Yeah, dude, and it's like, so sometimes they do like blur it out, but it's just they have such an enticing like title that I want to click on it. It's like, I can't believe this. We're gonna watch this. You know, like I can't believe we're gonna see this. And I'm just like, see what, dude? Yeah. So you've read the whole comic, right? So I clicked on the last link that I saw like that, and it was the Seth Rogen. Yeah, spoilers, 100%. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There. The Seth Rogen guy.
Yeah.
Do you know who Seth Rogen is in that show? He's like the Cyclops.
The pink alien guy.
Yeah. Dude, there's I saw a Reddit post about him, and they're like, can't believe this happened. I'm like, what happened to Seth Rogen? And I clicked on it, and they like told like the other like Omni-Man guys. I don't, what are they called? Viltrumites. They came down. And they like messed him up real bad, bro. They like cut him up they cut him in half, and like his eyes sticking out, and I'm just like, you know, like, dude, that looks so gross. Yeah. It looks so cool too. Like, I want to watch that because that's why I like that show so much, is because it's so gruesome.
Alan.
So is that? Oh yeah. His name is Alan.
Yeah.
His name is Alan.
He's a sick character, dude.
Dude, okay. I don't know. I guess I don't care anymore. Yeah. Does he survive that? That'd be crazy. I hope he becomes like half cyborg. That'd be crazy. That would be so crazy. But yeah, that part did get spoiled for me. Luckily, I think it'll probably happen in the first couple episodes of the season. You know, so I wasn't like too disappointed. But that just gives me an idea of like, oh my god, this is going crazy. I thought you were gonna say some crazier stuff. No, that's all I saw.
Because there's so much to spoil in Invincible. Yeah, it has so many cool arcs.
I liked Invincible a lot, but the only thing the only complaint, like if you would even call it that, is that some episodes, I think they dropped like 10, maybe 2 of them felt filler-ish.
Like which one?
There's one where they went to visit like a college campus. You know, and
not filler because his homeboy lives there.
Right.
And this kind of villainish character lives there who's like turning everybody into cyborgs. Right,
and they killed him, or they like beat him up already. That was the thing. Yeah, they like beat him up in that episode. I'm pretty sure that episode had like a whole conclusion, and I just felt like it was like, I didn't really need that.
It's not the coolest part.
It really felt more that episode in particular felt more like it was there just to kind of put tension between Mark and like his girlfriend. Like that, like they were arguing that episode pretty much is what it felt like. I'm like,
I feel like in the comic, that's also when he was having issues with her.
Right.
So it sounds like, honestly, it sounds like they're following it pretty close.
Yeah, which is cool.
But it's so long that it might have felt like filler because it's not the good part.
Right, exactly. Right. And you know, that is something that I love that you brought it up, that it felt long, because though we haven't been reading a lot of comics, I've been reading a lot of manga. Okay. Right? And so one of the best examples of this is Attack on Titan. Okay. As everybody knows, Attack on Titan's been like, dude, they have milked it to the ground. This last season has been coming out for like 3 years. Right? Like they're just milking. But I read the comic. I read the manga. I was just like, I'm gonna read the manga. I need to know what happens, right? Mm-hmm. And what I read the manga from like beginning to end. I just like I didn't just read the chapters I needed left. I was like, I'll read the whole thing, right? And the biggest difference between reading manga and watching watching an anime, and I imagine it's the same thing with reading a comic and watching a show, is just the boring parts. You're flipping through the pages so fast.
Right. And I think like when they're adapting like a comic or a manga into something, they're like, well, this season only has 8 episodes. Let's take this part right here, and we'll just keep going on this part. That's when it becomes filler.
Right.
You know what I'm
saying?
Right. Like for example, I don't want to spoil. What do you call it? Attack on Titan. But yeah, Attack on Titan. It's interesting that you say that they're stretching it, because I know they are, because it's like season 4, part 1, part 2, part 3, right?
Yeah, it's like the finale part 2. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But more other animes are just like season 1,000,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
now, and it's like it does seem like Attack on Titan at least is coming to a conclusion.
Yeah, it is coming to a conclusion, and it's because it's a shorter story, right? And that it's kind of I would compare it to like the Breaking Bad. Of anime, right?
That's high praise.
Yeah, no.
That's got to be the best show ever made.
I mean that it is a very Attack on Titan. I mean, it's so I would give it so many. It's the anime that I would recommend to somebody who doesn't watch anime, right? But for some people, that's like Demon Slayer or something. But the problem is, it's 4 seasons. Like when everything's out, it's like you can recommend that to somebody who doesn't watch anime, and you can finish it in a couple days.
Yeah, exactly. And I like animes like that, like Death Note.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. That's a perfect example. Yeah, people love it. It's
Evangelion.
Yes. These are perfect examples because they're short, they're good,
short and sweet.
And so a good example, and this is something that I'm falling prey into the past couple days. I'm falling into the hype of One Piece. Because they dropped
Me too.
They dropped the live action. I watched like one video about the live action one. Now my feed is just all this One Piece stuff, and I'm just like,
it's good.
Dude, this looks so cool. It looks so good.
I think the thing that makes One Piece so interesting and so cool is that, like, you know how like Goku's like a goofball?
Right.
That's how Luffy is too.
But more so.
You know,
like,
whereas
times
like
10.
Naruto is not a goofball, he's just a bitch. In the beginning.
Wow.
Like in the first like Naruto, not Shippuden or nothing like that. Like the whole time he's just they make him the underdog just like everything else, just like Luffy, just like Goku in the beginning, right? But they get powerful and they keep their personality and they're fun and they're cool and they're strong.
Yeah.
But Naruto, it takes a long time for that to happen, right?
Yeah.
Luffy is more similar to like a Goku character where like he's the fun, happy, but has a lot of heart character.
Right.
So it's not like a super like it is a shonen anime. It's one of the most like power having
big 3 whatever.
100%. But it's still just a dude with a crew on a ship going on an adventure.
I think that one of the reasons that, or something that I've seen lately with people, like with watching people talk about it, is one of the reasons they really like Luffy is because his power is so underrated. It almost doesn't seem like this guy he stretches. Well, what can he do with that? But they come up with really unique ways to like make the stretching broken. Yeah. You know, and I think that's the cool part.
That's
so
sick.
That's one of the reasons I love JoJo's. Is because they get stands that are so random and they just make it they utilize their powers in such ways that you're like, how do they even think of that? Like,
I know what you're talking about, but like give me an example of one.
Well, an example of one will be the fact that that Johnny from part 7, spoilers again. He shoots his fingernails with his finger to people, and then he gets to the point where he spins his fingernails so fast that he can make portals into. Dude, he spins them so fast he can make portals. It's because
I forgot about
how fast he's spinning his nails, dude.
Dude, we read that, but like, how does he spin his fingernail in the first place?
It's his stand. That's his power. Is that he can spin his fingernails.
What's the little pig dude his stand? What's it called?
Tusk.
Yeah,
Tusk. Okay. Yeah. Dude, it's so sick. Yeah. It's so sick. I have a little Tusk figure right here. You see Johnny shooting this.
Oh, he is
little Tusk right there.
Yeah, JoJo's Part 7 is sick. We already talked about that. But what I want to say about JoJo's Part 7 is it's sick because the main character is in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
He's a bad mofo.
Dude, that's crazy, huh? Yeah. Gyro is probably the actual main character, right? Like
True.
he's like actually the main character, but they need to have the JoJo, and they're like, okay, so Johnny's a JoJo, but Gyro's the guy.
Since we're talking about manga, one thing I thought about is what's interesting is like the way comic books are sold and the way manga is sold.
Right.
Like it's very interesting that you could go get a Shonen Jump for like $7-8.
Yeah.
And it has One Piece in it, a chapter from One Piece, a chapter from Dragon Ball, a chapter from, let's say, Attack on Titan. I'm not sure if that one's in there.
Right.
But just like a bunch, Yu-Gi-Oh manga, etc.
So,
and then you get a Yu-Gi-Oh card that comes with it, and it's just like a collection. Like imagine you could go every month and get a Batman, a Spider-Man, and all that in one.
I don't know. Do they do that here? Because I never have seen that in America. I've seen that in like shonens like that. People opening them up in Japan. But I think here you have to buy them individually.
I think we can buy jumps.
Can we?
Yeah.
I'm not.
But the
Maybe
thing
I'm
is,
not.
like,
Oh,
with comic books, we buy what do you call them? Like a full compendium of like all the comics.
Yes.
But really, what I don't feel like they understand is that's the only way people want to read.
Right.
Like nobody wants to buy those floppy little comics that you can read in 20 minutes,
100%.
and it's setting up this long story. You know you're never gonna get to because you got to go buy $5 for one of these little floppy things every month and keep up with it for 2 years.
That's real estate.
Yeah.
That's space.
Right.
That's the problem with those kind of mangas is that, or those comic books. That is space that I do not have. So I have a lot of shit, right? But I've come to like the past couple of years to minimize the shit that I buy because I just don't have the space for it.
Yeah,
like I just don't have the fucking space.
Dude, imagine and then say you want to hand out if I wanted you to read Batman Noir.
Right.
You have to go hunt down all of these comics when I just have, in my house right now, I just have the Batman Noir, the full story. Here's the full story.
You should let me borrow that.
Yeah.
Like IRL. Like for real. Like
we love Batman.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And I wanted I do like Batman. I'd be willing to read that because the only compendium that I've ever bought for a comic book is the Walking Dead one.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually have it. Yeah, I actually read it. Yeah.
Nice.
The problem is that it ended right about when season 4 ended with the governor.
The governor.
That's where it ended.
Yeah.
And then I realized there's a whole 2 other compendiums that I would need to buy, and
it's so long.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm good
thing
on that.
about that is for such a long time that was the most sold comic book. It almost seemed
good.
like
It was good.
It almost seemed like Robert Kirkman.
Right.
Who I believe he makes Walking Dead and Invincible.
Invincible, yeah.
That guy was reviving comic book sales for a little bit.
Yeah, and you know what? I really did enjoy that comic, the Walking Dead comic. It really, I goes into it. It was big. It's a big book.
Yeah. So I guess when I'm talking about my criticism of the way comic books are sold, or maybe that comic books aren't popular for Marvel and DC, I'm only talking about them because Image is on fire.
Right,
really good.
Yeah. So that's the thing that's why I don't like buying mangas either. The exact same reason. It's just I don't want to go back to Barnes and Noble. That's the top place I think of because they usually have all of the mangas. You go to Walmart, you might find one a one-off, but if you go to Barnes and Noble, they actually have a huge manga section and they pretty much have all the mangas 1 through 5 or whatever, you know what I mean? So what I've resorted to is usually just getting the part 1, the first manga chapter, and I'll just keep that. So I have JoJo's part 7. I have the first chapter of that. I have the first chapter of Chainsaw Man, and just one-off ones like that.
Man.
One Punch Man. Yeah, I brought that for you.
Yeah, I know.
I got that for you. Wow. Yeah, that's so fact. That's awesome. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's how I like doing it.
In general, I think comic books are something super interesting for people to talk about. They literally make the whole film industry is comic books at this point, and now the streaming industry too. Everything is comic books, but they still haven't figured out a way to market the main medium to people. They gotta find a way to make comic books more to where people who are freaking absolute nerds like us will even want to go get one.
They just probably should just drop them as compendiums all at once, make a big story. A full story, and sell it more get out of that. We drop these every week because people are going to their gas stations or their corner stores to buy a comic book every week. That day
people go to
gone.
local game stores to buy magic, not comic books.
But no, I think that they just need to really organize that and honestly, they probably do that anyways, but they probably get those one-off people buying the one shots. That it probably just makes more sense.
Well, yeah,
to
some people they have
them.
a subscription to the comic book store, and then the comic book store lets them know when the new issue's out.
That's a good point. I've been to comic book stores to buy magic, and I overhear conversations "Oh, I'm here to pick up my haul," and then they just bring out a box of their stuff, And I always thought that was interesting. I'm like,
I guess maybe that's
I thought I was the nerdiest one here.
Yeah.
Exactly. You got me beat, sir.
Yeah. You're about to go read?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, it's a lot of comics.
Yeah. Well, maybe, because we read a lot of books, right? Maybe it would be more interesting if when we go to the comic book to pick up, maybe we should try buying comic books. But, maybe because you're getting like a stack, and even though they're all different, you're like, it's like a ritual. You're like reading 10, and then you wait, and then you read 10 more, so it's not like you're just being on a cliffhanger because you bought one of those little...
Again, though.
Yeah.
Too much real estate. Like, what do I do after my second box of comics?
Dude, I have a perfect example of this.
What?
Everybody has accidentally signed up for Game Informer before. How quick until those add up to you look like a
I
hoarder.
like those.
The covers are so awesome, but I'm saying like all of a sudden like you subscribe to Game Informer for a year and you just have like a corner of your home just filled with Game Informers.
I got you.
Okay.
Dude. Look at these Game Informers that I've had for like since they've come out.
BioShock?
That's BioShock Infinite.
Nice.
And then I have Skyward Sword.
Nice.
Yeah, and then they have like
good.
and they have like the whole the main story of the Game Informer is like the Zelda one. So there's like multiple pages.
Yeah, they rarely do
of
that.
Zelda. Yeah,
That's awesome.
because the same thing with this one. With the BioShock one, they have multiple, because usually it's just like, here's the game and here's a page about this game that's coming out. But look, they have like a whole chapter of BioShock.
Yeah.
They got like pictures of...
It's like a preview.
Yeah, exactly. Like Ken Levine is here. It's like a preview, exactly.
Dude,
that's
I really like the cover on that one. You know what's my favorite Game Informer?
Which one?
You'll probably know exactly which one I'm talking about. The Arkham Knight one. It's like black and white, and it shows.
Oh
like Batman,
yeah, with the blood in his hands.
Yeah.
Oh, that one is sick. That's just a cool image in general.
Yeah.
I think white on Batman does look pretty good.
Yeah.
The black should stay as like the main color, but white on Batman, like I fuck with that.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty dope.
Let's talk about Batman.
But I love Batman. I have a picture of Batman right over here. You guys can't see it. It's huge. It just takes up the whole side of the wall.
I have a tramp stamp.
It's the bat symbol.
Yeah, it even shows like the light going up to it.
Yes.
Yeah, but from like
oh my god, dude, that's
we'll
so
show you guys.
awesome. Yeah,
we'll show you guys that.
That's a million subs. We show Matt's tramp stamp. Dude.
But you know, it's interesting. We're always talking about like how the comic books have basically taken over movies. Well, another thing I want to talk about is what other kind of movies do you like? What kind of movies do you miss? Because we don't get a lot of kind of movies anymore. Usually, we just get 3 or 4 big comic book movies throughout the year and a bunch of stuff nobody goes to see.
So, yeah, and my favorite movies seem to be like those ones that nobody goes to see.
Like?
I just saw this movie, and it was, I'm trying to remember the name of it so bad, but what was it called? What
was it about?
It was about this group of friends that go to a ritual for this guy like in England or in Scotland, excuse me. They go like Scotland and they have like this ritual that his family does, and it turns out apparently this ritual is like a real thing, so it's like a normal real thing that people do. But it turns out it was like a sacrificial ritual thing, and they were like murdering people, and nobody knew who was murdering them and all that. And it turned out to just be like this super weird like ritual, like
so holistic. It's a horror movie?
It wasn't even a horror movie. I would say it was more of like a not drama,
thriller.
Thriller.
Okay.
Like for example, the last scene was like they stuffed this guy into a bear, like a real bear. They like gutted the bear, stuffed this live dude into the bear. He was paralyzed. He couldn't move. Stuffed him into a bear. Put him into a house with like 4 other live people, 2 of which were his friends. 2 of the other ones were people from this like cult, because it was like the sacrifice thing, and they burnt it down. And yeah,
who burnt it down?
The people, the cult. Yeah, it was like a whole like thing. Yeah. So like, I really, really wish I remembered the name.
You know what? That sounds like, because of the bear part, it sounds like Human Centipede to me.
It's not that like graphic, I guess, but they did show a lot of like graphic stuff like that, like a lot of penises and stuff like that.
I saw Saw 10.
Oh god. Oh my god, dude.
Okay.
I've not seen that movie.
Okay.
Because I saw Saw 9.
And
it's the most ridiculous
the one
movie.
with Chris Rock?
No, it wasn't the one with Chris Rock.
Okay.
Chris Rock was not in it. But I don't know. Did you see the last Saw movies? Like the last few ones, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was like this girl who like framed the death of her child to her husband.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that one?
Frame the death of her child.
And then the flashback is like her husband taking a nap. And like she murdered the baby and puts it like under him, so they like frame the baby death on him, and then in like this is like a few seconds, but like cuts right, cuts to him going to jail, cut to him fighting the police, cut to him in a psych ward, cut to him hanging himself, cut back to Saul going, "You murdered your husband and your kid," and it was just like, what happened? This is her backstory, and it was just a minute, and it was so fast, and I'm like, this movie
they do that.
So dumb. I can't take it.
Number 10, I liked.
Okay. I mean,
here's the thing.
Okay.
Well,
no.
my girl makes me watch Fast and the Furious when they come out. So Saw is like that's creme de la creme compared.
Yeah. Okay.
So 10 is basically about Jigsaw, who you're calling Saw.
You're generic Mexican dude. I don't know.
So what happened is Saw had cancer, and apparently they tried to cure his cancer, but they couldn't or whatever. Right. And then he goes to like this cancer group, and he meets this group of other people who have cancer, etc. Right. Dude. One day, he's hanging out, just eating his meal, and he sees one of the dudes from the group looking super healthy. It's like a tall black dude. Right. The dude comes up to him, he talks to him, he's like, "Dude, what's going on with you?" He's like, "I've been cured." He writes down this number and all this kind of stuff. It's experimental. He has to blah, blah, blah. Okay. So Jigsaw goes to this other country, and this lady apparently cures him with all these other people. And when he walks up, there's another person being cured there, and etc. Dude, it turns out not everything was a setup, including the black dude from the group. Every single step and everybody he talked to lied to him, made him feel like they cured his cancer. They gave him like test results that they cured his cancer. Yeah. And then he finds out that was all fake and has to end up killing them all.
Oh my god, dude! Was it because they knew he was Jigsaw already? Like they knew?
No,
like,
they just want to take advantage of people who had cancer, and they kept moving locations so the government couldn't. Dude, yeah. So that's a good. It was like a pop-up cancer healing.
That's a good story because you know who the girl was to Jigsaw, the one I just told you.
Who?
His neighbor. It was his neighbor. That's what it's like.
Wait, I didn't find out.
Like, he just knocked on the door. Them. He was like, one day I just stopped hearing the baby cry. Yeah. Like that ass. That's like, all right, this is great. Okay. What you're saying is much better than it just being like, I saw you through the window. Yeah. You know? I will say, I'll leave it off here, that if your girl likes movies like Saw, and you want to take it to like a step further, because my girl likes scary movies like that. Have you seen Terrifier? Oh, dude.
What's that?
Oh, my God. It is a clown movie. It's a guy dressed up like a clown. Yeah.
I'm out.
You're out? Yeah, you're out. Dude, the movie is fucked up, dude. It's like Saw.
Okay.
But, okay, how do I explain this? So, it's like kind of like Saw, like, graphically. Like, you're going to see a lot of... But like, made by, like, an indie studio. Okay. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So, you know when they do some effed up stuff in Saw... They show you like a second and then cut, right? In Terrifier, they do some fucked up stuff and then like keep it on that shot until that fucked up thing is done. And it's like
somebody getting their bones.
Yes. We're like so for example, Saw, I remember when I saw it, like this guy breaks a plank, his foot comes down, wires snap his foot in half. Woo. This happens so fast. Yeah. You're like, he puts it down, you see the wires. And it's over. Yeah. Dude, in Terrifier, like if that was a scene in Terrifier, the guy would put his foot down and you'll see it like ripping his foot and then like afterwards what it would look like.
So it's like a Mortal Kombat fatality.
Yeah. But like in a scary movie with like this crazy dude dressed up like a clown. Oh. I would like, okay, so this is kind of a spoiler, but this is to kind of just give you an idea.
Nobody's watching this.
Yeah, nobody's watching at this point. But this guy ties up this girl and she's hanging on the wall and he like cuts her with the chainsaw from the bottom up.
Oh, right, and, from the cooter?
Yes. But the thing is, like I'm saying, it doesn't cut. You know what I mean? So the movie doesn't cut. Like, you see the whole thing.
That's not cool, man.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The movie's crazy. It's crazy like that.
It's a good name, Terrifier.
Yeah,
it is. It sounds like that should already be taken by, like, some metal band.
It probably is. I mean, honestly, that's what it looks like. Just some like metalhead made a movie, but that's the kind of movie it is. And I have more examples I'm thinking on top of my head, but I don't want to tell you just in case you ever do decide. Like, I don't know if your girl really likes those kind of scary movies, but they're out there. No,
she falls asleep to pretty much anything. It's got to really.
Oh, it's gonna have like the Fast and Furious type editing, dude. Like just like I have a seizure, dude. Like
John Wick.
Oh, dude. I mean, John Wick is pretty decent,
that's a good movie.
She likes like the movies like my dad likes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like that's okay. It's whatever. But my dad is just like the type of person that, you know, unless it's like Top Gun Maverick, he was like, dude, this movie's awesome. Have you seen Bullet Train?
Bullet Train. Yes.
Yeah.
With Brad Pitt?
Yes.
And a homeboy from Atlanta?
Yeah.
That was great.
My dad was like, snooze. Don't like this movie. Yeah, dude,
That was a good time.
That's why I was like, what do you mean you don't like that? I thought, because I recommended it to him thinking, it's right up your alley, dude. Yeah. And he's like, that movie was fucking whack. And I'm like, how do you like, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, you pick shitty movie. I'm just, dude, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with that movie. Is great.
So, what are we're going on and on about trash movies? What's a good movie?
What's a good movie? My favorite movie in the entire world is Pulp Fiction. That's my favorite movie in the entire world.
That's crazy. I mean, okay, if we're excluding comedy movies, my favorite movie is probably also Pulp Fiction. Or like Django.
See, I like Django too long. It's a little too long.
It ain't as good as Pulp Fiction.
No, but it's good. It's up there. I loved watching what's that other movie like the 13 like in the
Hateful Eight?
Yeah, the Hateful Eight. Like I like that movie a lot too.
It's great,
but it's too long. It's too long. Yeah. That's the problem. Like it's great your first watch. I like the shorter Quentin Tarantino movies, Kill Bill, Pulp Fiction. Reservoir Dogs, like these movies are less than 2 hours. They get to the point. They're great stories. I love those movies.
Dude, I feel like I've seen Pulp Fiction enough that I could like quote every scene.
Yeah. Do you know what's in the briefcase?
It's a light.
Right. But do you know what it's supposed to be in the story?
I think it's supposed to be someone's soul.
Yes.
I think it might be Marcellus Wallace's soul.
It is Marcellus Wallace.
Because he has a Band-Aid on the back of his head.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So, did he sell his soul? Like,
most likely.
What's the deal? He
most likely sold his soul, finally made enough money to buy it back, and he's getting these guys to get his soul for him. And that's why, like, everybody who sees it is so like, oh my god, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so gorgeous.
That's so interesting, like, that the movie is so grounded. It's still pulp. You know what I mean? That's kind of like the whole idea. But at the same time, they have this supernatural thing that's like an Easter egg only. Right.
That's
interesting.
That's great. No, I think it's a great way to kind of put that little spin to the movie because it makes it that much more like because it's kind of like mimicking real life, where like a lot of times in real life things are really normal, but then some weird shit happens and you're like, man, is that like what, you know, something else interfering with that? You know what I'm saying? So it kind of mimics real life in that way.
Here, man, I need you to reach into that bag and I need you to grab my wallet.
Which bag?
It's the one that says "bad motherfucker" on it.
Oh yeah. Oh, I fucking fell for it. No, I let it happen.
But Tarantino is probably my favorite director. In reality, my favorite movies are all Will Ferrell movies. But I love Tarantino. Tarantino. If we're watching serious movies, I like Tarantino.
Okay, what's your favorite Will Ferrell movie?
The Other Guys.
The Other Guys. I got a tie for mine. I'm cheating. It's Talladega Nights.
Love it.
And Step Brothers. Yeah. Dude, yeah. Oh my god. I don't know what to do with my hands. Yeah. Dude, I fucking love it so much. I love Talladega Nights and Step Brothers. Those are my two favorite. My favorite thing for Step Brothers to say is, hey, you don't say that. Like, hey, you don't say that. Yeah. Whenever somebody says something mean, I'm just like, you don't say that.
My favorite one is when he says, you see these abs? I haven't eaten a carb.
Yeah, dude, and then it cuts to like a totally other person. And they're all oiled up.
Dude, it's so good. You want to punch me in the face.
Oh my god, dude. I love that movie. It's the same two guys, right? Same two dudes in both those movies.
Oh, you're talking about John C. Reilly?
Yeah. Same right. Oh my god, I love those movies so much.
Did you touch my drum set?
He's like, no, then why are you so sweaty? I was watching cops. So somehow you're sweaty. He goes like, I know cops doesn't stop at 4 and then starts at 4 p.m. So stop lying.
Yeah.
Dude, that movie's awesome, and I think I also liked Adam Sandler movies growing up too. Like I thought Adam Sandler funny movies were really great too. I think my favorite Adam Sandler movie is probably Wedding Singer.
What?
Wedding. I love.
Okay,
Wedding Singer.
I mean it's cool,
Yeah.
but I thought you were gonna say Waterboy.
No, 50 First Dates would be my second.
50 First Dates
yeah,
is so
50
good.
First Dates would be
It's
like my
so
second.
I don't even like rom-coms.
Right.
But that movie is
That
fire.
was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great.
Rob Schneider was funny in that movie.
Yeah.
You can do it. Wait, no, that's the wrong one.
That is Waterboy.
Yeah, I love Waterboy too much. It's like every time I think of Adam Sandler, like I like when he's like, I love Vicky Valancourt and she showed me her boobies and I love them too.
Yeah, no, it's just like I think Adam Sandler doesn't need to be like mega dumb in his movies. You know, like kind of like Waterboy. He's
He
like
did that for a while.
Yeah, he did. And then like Happy Gilmore.
Mr. Deeds a little bit.
Yeah, you see, like I don't mind that. I think he was like in that sweet spot in Wedding Singer and in 50 First Dates where he was like, I'm not a total idiot.
Yeah.
But like I'm also like just like, kind of dumb, right?
Yeah.
Like he was dumb in both.
I like
not
Chuck
like
and Larry.
Chuck and Larry is also a good movie.
That's a
Chuck
good
and Larry is a good movie.
The one I don't like is Uncut Gems. You know why?
That movie makes me
Uncut
uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Uncut Gems is like the feeling you get when you're just stressed, overwhelmed, and anxious
right
for 2 hours.
Yeah.
To the viewer.
Dude, he was just like, but he killed it, right?
Yeah,
like Adam
he nailed
Sandler
that.
killed that movie,
Yeah.
and it kind of proved just like Bryan Cranston that he could be in serious stuff and kill it. Where like Will Ferrell, I don't think he ever got into
I have
some
never
serious
seen
movies.
Anything that he probably has some. But
Yeah, he probably does, but yeah, exactly. Like I think Jim Carrey can do a serious movie.
Eternal Sunshine of the
That's the best one. That's exactly the one I was thinking about. This is why we're doing this, because that's exactly the one I was thinking about.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
love that movie.
So comedy movies are my favorite movies. But
Yeah.
if I like serious movies, I'm Nolan, Tarantino,
Right.
Scorsese, etc. But my second favorite comedy actor is Steve Carell, and 40-Year-Old Virgin is my second favorite movie.
Steve Carell. So I just saw a video of Steve Carell taking in like it was an Oscar for The Office, and I just made me appreciate him and like respect him so much because of like the speech that he did was just thanking everybody else. And like really, I wouldn't have been able to be here unless like literally the writers, the staff, everybody else, right? And he went off and named everybody else, and I thought, and his wife a lot, and I was like, man, that's crazy. Like he really out here.
That's very modest.
Yeah,
but it's also accurate because although what happened with Steve Carell was that The Office had one season,
right,
and it was okay because it's an adaptation of the UK Office, right? It was okay. They didn't know if they were going to do more. They started to do season 2. Everybody thought the show was going to be canceled that was working on the show. Then 40-Year-Old Virgin came out, and Steve Carell out of here, right?
Really? It was because of that movie?
Yes, it was because of that movie that The Office really became more popular and kept going.
Oh wow, I never even knew that.
But here's the thing about The Office is that it's full of talent. Like everybody in the annex, what is they called, the Connex Annex in the back room where Toby and them is.
Yeah,
they're all writers. Ryan is a writer. Toby's a writer.
Wow. I need to watch it.
Mindy is a writer. They're all writers back there. It's just like everybody there is just some talented, crazy person, and they got him early enough that now you got John Krasinski, who's like a star in his own right.
He's a superstar now. Yeah, he's a mega star.
You know, Dwight Rainn Wilson. He's also a superstar. I wish they didn't cancel Utopia just because a pandemic happened. Utopia was a show that Rainn Wilson was in, and it was about a pandemic, so they canceled.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
It was so good.
That sucks.
But yeah.
So The Office, I need to watch it, but I don't got that kind of time. It kind of goes back to like the One Piece thing. I was gonna mention it when we're talking about it. I kind of fell into the hype, but like I just know I can never watch it. It's just way too long. I just know I'll never be able to watch it. Even though I think a lot of the aspects and a lot of like the powers and stuff look cool, I just know I'm never gonna be able to watch it.
Did you take a look at Luffy going into Gear 5 or whatever?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
I don't know what that means either, but I looked at it.
He turned like Super Saiyan.
Yeah, it looked cool.
It looked really cool. And like that's what it looks cool to watch, but imagine like knowing
Everything
who he's fighting, knowing how that's what I think is the cool part. Is like you can see a cool thing online, like a Naruto fight or like a One Piece fight, and think it's like, damn, this is crazy. But as people like read Stormlight and like other books and series, when you get to that point and then you know all the stuff before it hits different. It just hits so much different.
In Stormlight, I like Seth so much because you get to see him go from doubting himself and like really just being like working for someone, being a slave.
Yeah.
All the way to the point where he's one of the most powerful people in the Cosmere.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Man, I love Stormlight so much. They really need to adapt that. Like right away. Dude.
You know what's interesting? Not for you guys, but we can make a Stormlight video. And it might only appeal to Stormlight people, right? But that might be enough.
Yeah. I mean, I'm down.
Yeah, we'll do.
I think like that should be a video. Maybe that's not a podcast, right? Yeah. That's just like an actual video because there's so much that we could talk about that. I think we would have to reread the book or something. No, just to kind of get that, or at least talk about it to refresh my mind. But I think the most hype thing I'll be looking forward to in Stormlight, like a movie or a show, would be the two things, right? Everybody probably knows this stuff. The Coliseum fight.
Oh
right?
My God!
Everybody knows that part.
Yes.
And I also want to watch. Like, I imagine this is like end of season 2, Seth versus Kaladin when Kaladin gets his powers.
Yes.
Like those are the two things that I just like. I want to watch so bad in like live action, or I think they can even pull off like kind of like an Invincible style. Like show,
like an animated,
I think they can even pull that off too. It doesn't matter, but like whenever that comes to like whatever kind of media they drop it, that's what I'm most excited for.
I think he said he's been shopping Mistborn as a movie.
Yeah, I think he said like when Stormlight came out is what, or he said something of like 2022 or 2021 like was the year that people came knocking. He had quoted
like
that
his
right.
Books
that,
got bigger.
Yeah, that he's like he's like, I don't remember. I'm sure there's that out there. 2021, 2022. He was like, he's on record being like, this year was the year that the movie studios started knocking.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He said that.
Good.
He said that, and I think that's true because we only got 20 seconds here, so we got to speed this up. But I think it's true because look at like media or look at the movies like we're talking about all day. It's like they're all comic books and all this other crap, and people are just losing interest, right? So maybe now it's time for like the new Lord of the Rings, the new Game of Thrones,
the new Sanderson,
the Sanderson
Cosmere.
can just drop in there. Yeah. He has the Cosmere, he can do so much stuff.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. That's all the time we got. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching. Get in there.
Get in there.